Welcome to Chit Chatify. We're going to go ahead and start things off with the NBA and the embarrassing performance that was Chris Bosh, missing 3 straight dunks against the Hornets. It's not the first time in his career that he's given fans a reason to poke fun. Certainly not going to be the last. But when you see highlights like this on SportsCenter, you kind of got to roll your eyes, scratch your head, and think to yourself, why do they get paid millions of dollars to put on performances like this? To be fair to Bosh, he does give you pretty solid numbers if you go ahead and look at the stats, but with highlights like this on SportsCenter, who needs to watch Comedy Central? On a lighter side of things in the NBA, Kobe Bryant did reach the 30,000 point landmark, only the 5th player in NBA history to do so. His achievements kind of being overshadowed by the fact that the Lakers are 9-12 this season. They were expected to be the favorite in the West, to come out from the gates blowing people away with all the star performers that they had and all the talent they've amassed, and I think they have to be one of the biggest disappointments so far this season. Unlike the Knicks, who were first place in the East, many people kind of saw the roles maybe reversed a little bit, the Knicks being at 9-12 and the Lakers being 15-5, but congratulations, Knicks. I'm glad to see you're proving people wrong. To Major League Baseball, where the Kansas City Royals have made a huge trade for James Shields from the Tampa Bay Rays. A lot of people calling this a move out of desperation. Yeah, it's out of desperation. Kansas City's kind of been an embarrassment in the American League. They've lacked that top-notch pitching, that kind of guy that they can rely on, and they went out and did something about it. A lot of people calling it a win-now mentality. Yeah, they want to win now. They need a title now. They've got one of the youngest teams. They should be able to go throughout the season lasting. Shields was 15-10 last year with 223 strikeouts. Towards the top as far as AL pitchers go, in both the wins and strikeouts categories. I think it was a smart move. I don't see why they're getting so much flack. They're not the New York Yankees. They don't have hundreds of millions of dollars to just throw around everybody and try to acquire any piece of talent that comes their way. So good job, Kansas City, and I hope you prove everybody wrong. I hope you go ahead and make a move this year. It'd be kind of exciting to see a new team come out of nowhere and actually make a statement this year and do something for themselves. To the NFL, rumors coming out of San Diego that A.J. Smith and Norv Turner will be axed at the end of the season. First off, why wait? Let's just get it done. Second of all, you guys actually won a game this week. Too little, too late, guys. Norv Turner, you needed to go for a while. I covered this in the last episode, as well as A.J. Smith. I hope the Chargers follow through on this. I think the organization needs a complete overhaul. We need leadership in there that doesn't just trade away their talent. We need a head coach that steps up, takes responsibility, and pushes his team to win games. Congratulations on beating Pittsburgh, even though you weren't favored to win. It's the first time I think I've seen Phillip Rivers actually step up and not throw 4 or 5 interceptions over the last couple seasons. Too little, too late, guys. Sorry, but there's the door. See your way out. In a more positive note in that division, Denver clinched their playoff spot at 10-3, win their 8th straight game. Congratulations to Peyton Manning. There were a lot of Peyton haters before the season, a lot of people telling him that he was on his way out. He needed to just kind of step aside and sit back and watch things either from the sidelines or from the sportscaster's booth. Go Peyton. There's a lot of haters out there, a lot of naysayers. I'm not a Peyton fan or a Peyton hater, but I respect what the man's done. He is leading his team to victory. They're 10-3 this season. He's got 30 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. He's third in the league in passing yards. And if you listen to this guy talk, he's a humble guy. He gives credit where it's credit due to his teammates, to his coaching staff, everyone who surrounds him. And, go Broncos. Not a Broncos fan, not a Broncos hater, only when they play the Cowboys, as with most other teams. But I kind of like to see that Peyton is proving people wrong. Switching things up, going to the NFC now. The Arizona Cardinals, where were you this Sunday? Seattle took you out back to the woodshed and laid a beatdown on you. 58-0, it's ridiculous. I'm sorry, you couldn't even muster a field goal. Skelton had 4 interceptions. Fitzgerald 1 reception coming in the 4th quarter. You guys could have sent a high school football team out there to show up and they would have done a better job. The Arizona fans, I feel for you. I had my opponent in fantasy football had Seattle's defense. With the offense doing nothing, I got completely destroyed in that category. Fitzgerald's one of my receivers. I got, I think, 2 points for him. Hopefully, they get things turned around. They actually show up next week. They shouldn't even bother to lace up their shoes and step on the field with a performance like that. I don't even call that performance. I've done more impressive things on the toilet than I saw in that game this week. So, hopefully things get changed around next week and you actually get a decent football team that's actually willing to go out there and put forth an effort and play. Moving things to the NFC East, Dallas, Redskins, and the Giants all one game apart right now. Dallas kind of fighting from behind game after game. That kind of strategy or play is not going to get you through to the postseason. The Giants kind of making a statement, just spanking on the Saints. Pretty much, kind of saying, hey, we're still here. We're still on the top of the East. We are the defending champions. And the Redskins, RG3, it's only a minor sprain. So I think the Redskins are still completely in this. It's not a major injury. RG3 is human, guys. I know he looks supernatural with some of the things he's been doing this season, but, the man is human. I think it's going to be a great final 3 games. It's some really good football. Dallas has the toughest of all 3 schedules. Go Cowboys. I really hope they make a push and get some things turned around. But, these final 3 games of the season, I think we're going to start seeing some really good football. Now with Cowboy Nation conversation, we're going to talk first about Jerry Jones. Last episode, Jerry, I told you to stay out of the headlines. You didn't listen, but this time I can't argue with you. Jones and Ratliff were to put it mildly, in a very heated verbal exchange in the locker room. Jones telling Ratliff basically to man it up, telling him, we need you. Ratliff has been out for over a month, miscellaneous injuries. He's in the first year of a multi-year deal, and Dallas right now in a extremely tight race for the NFC East and a possible wild card playoff berth. We need all men available right now, and I think Jones was right in kind of calling him out a little bit. You get paid to play, not to sit on the bench. It's time to fight through the pain. It's time to man up, get on that field, and start producing. Show us why the organization pays you the money it does. So on this one time, probably, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to actually side with Jerry Jones and not find him in the wrong in this one. I think he brought up a valid point. We need everybody right now. Time is ticking away, and if you're able to play, you need to be on that field. Speaking of playing, Dallas needs to step up their game to a higher level. This come from behind and win in the last seconds mentality has got to go. They have done nothing pretty much in the first half most of the season. Teams have been jumping out in front of them, and we've been coming from behind to win. We beat the Eagles by 5. We were favored by 10, probably should have beat them by 20. No disrespect to Cleveland, we should have easily won that game by 13 to 20 points right there. Nothing against them. I mean, they're our talented team, but with the offensive weapons that we have, we are completely underutilizing our offense. The running game is being underutilized. We should be averaging at least 100 to 150 yards per game. In the days of Emmitt Smith, 100 yards was nothing. You knew you had that in the bag. And Dallas needs to get that back to that kind of balanced offensive mindset. You've got your receivers. You need to establish the run to make the play action work, to get the deep ball. You've got receivers that can go out and get that deep ball, and we can start getting some big plays, putting some points on the board. But it's got to start. It's got to start now. It's got to start in the first half. I understand it's going to take a few series to kind of start reading the defenses, see what packages and coverages they're throwing at you. But it's time to man up and step up. Anything less than a Super Bowl, in my opinion, is failure, let alone anything less than a playoff berth. So I challenge everybody on that Cowboys team right now to start showing the fans something, start showing the nation that, there's a reason we're called America's team. Let's step up. Let's start winning games handily. None of this last-second field goal heroics or anything like that. Let's start putting points on that board, and let's start showing the people why we are the shining star. Now to wrap up the show, our Ask the Audience segment, I do apologize. I realized after last episode that I did not give you guys my contact email for the show. It's chitchatify@gmail.com. So my responses to the questions I asked last week were very limited. I only got back 3 replies. 2 of them I'm going to go ahead and read after this. But please, after the questions, that I'm going to ask this week. Give me your feedback, or if you have any other comments, concerns, whatever. I definitely look forward to hearing from the audience. That's part of the reason of the show, is I want to get feedback, debate. I'd even be interested in taking on somebody else to co-anchor the show. Maybe if you want to put out a special segment to be included, I'll definitely go ahead and talk with you and maybe work that in. Last week we asked, is Gary Bettman the worst commissioner in major sports? Personally, I said yes. The response I got back was the same. It says, Bettman, without a doubt, get gone, stay gone. We don't want you. We want our hockey. Another work stoppage in his tenure as commissioner. Season canceled already now through the December 30th. I don't see a game happening on the 31st. The Winter Classic has been canceled. You completely have failed your fans and the league. I think Bettman should be gone immediately. Step down, fired. Something's got to happen. To say that the fans are disappointed would be a complete understatement. Not a huge hockey fan myself, but if it's a major sport, people want to see it played. They don't want to see guys sitting there months on end doing nothing. The second question we had is, which NFL team is the biggest disappointment this season? Personally, I agree with our response. We got the Eagles, so much talent, so little heart, such disappointing results. The other team I could definitely see is Kansas City. The Eagles, Michael Vick, hurt again. That's nothing new lately. I don't see him being with the team after the season's over. LaShawn McCoy and Deshaun Jackson was pretty much the nail in the coffin for the second half of the season. The Eagles are not going to finish at 500 even if they win out. Andy Reid, hate the Eagles, respect the coach. He's on his way out too. A lot of people may not want to see that, a lot of diehard Eagles fans. I know you love the guy, but I think Andy Reid, his time in Philadelphia is done. I don't know if his time in the league is done, but definitely in Philly, I think he's on his way out. As far as my pick with Kansas City, they have a long way to go. They have a lot of key positions they need to fill. I don't even know if one off season is going to be able to get it done, but they definitely need to make some trades. They need to make some moves in the draft. We already know they're going to have the first pick, so that's definitely one of my biggest disappointments this year. The questions I have for you guys that I want to get some results and feedback from next week is, your first one, who's your pick to win it all in the NFL for the Super Bowl this year? I know it's a little early. We have 3 games left to go in the season, but that's kind of the point of why I want it now. I want to see if there's if you have any teams that you think are going to sneak in, grab that wild card berth, or teams that are already clinched that you think are just going to steamroll through the competition. Who's your team that you think is going to win it all, and give me the reasons why you think they're going to do that. Could it be Denver with Peyton Manning? Will he pull off the miracle comeback and win the championship? Could Houston, who's had an amazing season so far, surprise everybody and take it all? Could somebody like the Redskins and RG3 sneak in and win the NFC East and roll through the playoffs and just pull off that ultimate rookie season? Definitely give me your feedback on that. I have kind of my opinion right now, but I definitely want to hear you guys first. I'll be sure to share my opinion next show. The second question is, with Kobe Bryant scoring 30,000 points, does this now put him in the top 5 as far as best players ever in the NBA? I know there's going to be a lot of heated discussion over that. There's always a lot of heated discussion when it comes to Kobe. Selfish play, part of the reason why he has 30,000 points, but at the same time, you have to respect what he's done. You may not like how he's done it, but you have to respect how he's done it. Do you consider him a top 5 player? I know I definitely have my thoughts. I definitely put him in the top 10. I don't know about top 5. That's a real tough category to put him in as far as placement in the top 5. Give me your feedback. Give me your reasons why. I definitely will feature at least one answer to each of the results on next show. So I look forward to seeing you back. I hope you enjoyed the show. Again, chitchatify@gmail.com. Any comments, concerns, questions, or anything you'd like to see added or taken out of the show. No Cowboy Nation conversation will not be coming out of the show. So if you're not a Dallas fan, please do not request that. I'm a Dallas fan that's staying in. I'm sorry, guys. But definitely look forward to seeing you guys back next show. Thanks.